So since we very first started playing golf, there's one thing that all of us hear time and time again. We got to get our weight to the left. We got to get our hips to bump to the left to start the downswing. Everything is about getting left. Well, if you've been getting hip pain, do you feel like after a round of golf your hip is sore, you just feel like it's not quite right, almost like you're jammed up and you're hitting against your left side? Well, that could be the wrong motion. I'm going to show you today how we do get a slight shift to the left, but most people that I see, I'd say the vast majority, bump their hips too far to the left, and then everything is kind of dumping into the right side of their body, causing a lot of trouble as they're doing this. So let's talk about the 3 things that are going to help you to actually rotate your hips, clear your hips out of the way, get a good strong compression line like we talk about in the Top Speed Golf system. So first let's talk about where do we want to be at contact. That's really the most important thing. So if I'm talking about our Top Speed Golf system, that's one of our 5 fundamentals. And at contact, I want to have my hips open about 45 degrees. It could be a little more, a little bit less is going to be fine. And I want to have my left ankle socket. So if I take the center of my ankle, and I want to have my hip socket, the actual, kind of imagine the ball joint inside your hip, and my shoulder socket are all going to 3 be in alignment. So if I draw a line from my hip up to my shoulder, or sorry, from my ankle to my shoulder, my hip is going to be right on that line also. And if we're looking at that line, if it's a vertical line like this, it should be slightly tilted away from your target. Just a few degrees is fine. Now, if we get used to bumping the hip in front, it's going to look something more like this. I did this for years. My hip hurt after every single round of golf that I played. I was told to bump my hips to the left. I got something like this, where now my left ankle and my left shoulder, if you make a line there, my hip is out in front of those, and I can feel on the outside of my hip, it's really starting to get sore, the muscle on the outside of your hip there. So we don't want to do that, because not only does it make us get a little bit of hip soreness, it also causes, watch my shoulders now, as I bump my hips forward, now my shoulders are kind of dropping down. I'm going to be grounding out behind the golf ball, causing me a lot of inconsistency. So 3 things we can do to really help this out. Number 1, especially for players that have limited flexibility. Those of you maybe over 50 years old or just don't have a lot of flexibility. I don't have a lot of flexibility. Go ahead and turn this foot out about 30 degrees or so. So if this is a square front foot, I'm going to turn that out. Now what that does is that rotates my knee out, and that rotates my actual femur to where my hip socket is now turned out like this. Now as I'm coming through this shot, it's going to be easier for me to open up that hip. The second thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let, as I start my downswing, instead of bumping my hip this way, which now you can see my femur would kind of be angled, or my bone that's in the upper leg would be angled back like that, I'm actually going to rotate my hips and get my upper leg bone, the femur here, is actually going to be angled back away from the target. So you can see how it's angled this way. Well, now as I push into the ground, that's going to let me clear my hips out of the way. I'm feeling like in my left foot I'm pushing down and out into the ground. That's going to clear my hips, and now I don't have any pain. If I do the opposite of this, square front foot, it's already tougher to rotate. And then I get my hip bumping, my femur's not lined up. If I push into the ground, my femur wants to go this way, and then I'm trying to rotate into that, causes a lot of soreness, and I really just can't get through the shot. So I'm going to open up that front foot a little bit. As I start my downswing, I'm going to make sure my left knee rotates out. This bone is angled back. Now when I push into the ground, I automatically rotate. And then from there, I'm going to focus in on actually pushing into the turf to get the hip to rotate open. If I can put all 3 of those pieces together, there we go, good solid shot. Really nice clean hit there. And I could feel no discomfort at all in my hip, letting that rotate on through. So work on those 3 keys. If you're having some hip pain, it's going to free you up. It's going to make your swing feel that much more effortless. I'll see you guys very soon. Hi guys, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got a great bonus for you. I'm going to play a preview from one of my #1 lag videos. Are you struggling to get a lot of lag in the downswing? We know how important that is. We got to get lag. We got to release that lag to really let that club whip through contact. I'm going to play a preview from one of the best lag drills out there that I have. I'm going to show you how players like Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, Adam Scott all use this in their own swing. It's going to help you to hit it a lot farther, pick up some great speed. If you want to watch that video, go ahead and click the link that pops up in your screen. If you're on a mobile device, a phone, a tablet, go ahead and click the iCard, which is going to allow you to get instant access to that. If you guys have any questions, post them in the comments below. Click that thumbs up button, that really helps us out. And be sure to subscribe, that way you'll see our latest videos. Good luck, and I'll see you in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see, and in this drill what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a three-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag and then